But like
Come
even the
on.
Irish stuff.
But
So
jeez, I'm thinking of you know, Harley. You know, Harley, the berry
yeah,
one.
we
Cinemas Bundoran, now serving pizza, hot dogs, ice cream, and more to your seat. Find out more at eclipsecinemas.com.
And it's time to join our man at the movies. It must be Thursday. Cotty McFadden with the latest from Eclipse Cinemas in Bundoran. I tell you, any jokes today?
yeah.
Or
Oh yeah, you get started, and that was a running theme in the movie. We'd be talking about people just going up and going, "Got any jokes for us today?" Let me start though instead of jokes with a greeting instead.
Okay.
And wish Ocean FM very happy birthday, 20 years old yesterday. It's me. That didn't just amaze me that I've been listening to the station for 20 years, but I've been on for more than half
Most of it.
waffling. How, Ocean FM prides itself on its investigative reporters, all the awards you've won for those things. How I haven't been found out in 20 years. I do make my debut, the magic of radio. I make my debut on the art show with Brendan tonight. So
Yeah.
maybe that's when we'll finally be found out to be the bluffer that I am. But but a happy birthday. Well done to everyone at Ocean FM. And thanks for always looking after me, whether it's in studio or Zooming like today. It's always been a great experience.
Okay. Thanks for that. Big week in the movies, though, isn't it?
Very big week for us. Big, awards hitter, because September has been an interesting, but not that spectacular start. And now this week we've got two big hitters. We'll start with the one that you've seen all the posters for. It's been all over telly. We have a sequel to Joker. Now, like most people, when Joker came out, nobody thought that screams sequel. And definitely nobody thought that screams a sequel that might be with songs with Lady Gaga. But here we are, and it's ready to roll. And I saw it today. But first, do you have a clip to maybe explain to people what's going on?
Here we go.
2 years ago, the name Arthur Fleck hit Gotham like a hurricane.
The trial of the century.
They believe Arthur Fleck to be some kind of martyr. Well, he's not. There's a monster.
When you're smiling, when you're smiling,
When I first saw Joker, when I saw you,
When I first saw Joker, that's our introduction. I think there's a bit of romance in this, is there?
Well, there is. So when we meet Arthur Fleck or Joker from the last movie, and of course this movie was very different. It didn't treat him like the cartoon villain that he is in the other versions of Batman. It was much more like a disturbed sort of anarchist. Very similar in some ways to, if anybody's ever seen The King of Comedy, the Martin Scorsese movie. That sort of, a deluded man who causes trouble all around him. And we kind of meet him. He's been in prison for a couple of years at this stage, and he's kind of broken. And each day, as I alluded to earlier, Brendan Gleeson, who's one of the guards, goes, "Got a joke for us, Arthur?" And they're all mocking him. And you see that he's just kind of this worn down figure, a bit like we meet at the start of the first movie. And then he's brought in, because of his good behavior, they decided to give him some musical therapy. So he's brought into this singing class where he meets Harley Quinzel, who we know is going to be Harley Quinn, played by Lady Gaga, who has an obsession with him and sort of draws him back, kind of gets rid of Arthur and draws the Joker back to it.
All right.
Now, I have to say, you might remember this when we talked about this, what it was 4 years ago or whatever. It was a huge hit, and people really liked it. And I didn't. I thought it was a very well made, very good movie with a brilliant performance, but I thought it was quite nasty and mean spirited. It just wasn't for me while admiring it. So I went in assuming I wouldn't like this one. And what's great about this is I did like it, but it's so weird, Jamie. It's so odd. And it's like the director was going, because part of the movie was that Joker is this guy who's, would I say Donald Trump? Maybe not. That he's really just looking after himself and he's not concerned about other people, but people look at him and go, that guy's he's our voice. We should follow him. And the whole movie is screaming, no, do you not see what he actually is? But people are following him and thinking he's the hero of the movie. And they're saying, no, he's not. And it's like the director has gone, right? So people in real life thought that too. Loads of people came out and going, Joker, what a legend. You go, oh, I think you're supposed to come out and go, Joker, what a disturbed individual. So the director has decided to upend the whole thing. There's whole new. You love the music in this, Jamie, because it's the
Yeah.
Great American Songbook with some like carpenters and stuff like that thrown in. That it's kind of fantasy sequences in their head between himself and Gaga, singing grand musicals. There's all the sets where he goes back to the game show where he spoiler alert for the last one, where he murdered a guy, and it's just spectacular and weird and different. And I kept on going, huh? And I have to say, I thought it was really interesting. And possibly not everything works. And I think we're going to have people coming out and saying, what the flip was that? Although it's, Donegal, so it almost certainly won't be flip. But they're going to be saying, and some people are going to, I think it's weird that some people are
Yeah.
going to really like it. Maybe people like me who didn't care for the last one. Some people are going to go, oh man, what was that about? But you can't take your eyes off it. He
Yeah.
is brilliant again. Lady
Yeah.
Gaga playing weird is really brilliant. And it just looks spectacular. And I was absolutely edge of my seat. And I still, in some ways, don't know what I think of it 2 hours later, which I mean definitely as a positive. So definitely go and see it. If you like the last one, definitely go and see it. But I'd also maybe say, if you didn't like the last one, but you like interesting films, go and see it. It's very good. Very not for kids. It's
Oh,
a
yeah,
15A,
definitely.
not just the subject matter, but also they just wouldn't like it. So it's 15A for grown-ups and a really interesting bit of filmmaking. I think he may well get nominated for an Oscar again.
Wow.
And we will see. But
Okay.
very interesting, very good. Much better than I thought it would be.
Oh, all right. Okay. Well, that's a good report. Joker, that's opens when?
Opens tomorrow.
Opens tomorrow at Eclipse Cinema. Right. We got another big movie and a huge Irish interest here, and the Outrun.
Yeah,
our own Saoirse Ronan.
Speaking of Oscars and awards, I've said this for the 11 years I've been on. I think I've been saying this. Surely it's only a matter of time before Saoirse wins our Oscar, and she's rumored for this one that she should get nominated. Probably the problem is she may get nominated twice, which sometimes goes against you. But in this movie, it's based on a true story and a memoir by a woman who had all sorts of substance abuse problems, and she decided to go home to sort of try and cope with giving up the drink, and she went back to Shetland Islands, which beautiful and wild and rough and so far removed from our sort of madcap London lifestyle, and really tries to change not just our lifestyle but our whole outlook on life. And we get to meet our parents and maybe find, if not the roots of her alcoholism, certainly the roots of why life was difficult all along. Now, if I'm making this sound difficult, I haven't yet seen the movie, but it's not. And for one reason and one reason only, Saoirse Ronan. Saoirse Ronan is just believable. She is raw, and you see the emotions on it. If you've seen the clips even of the trailer and Jamie, she's a wonderful glamorous actress, but she's not afraid of seeing weak or exposed. She's there on the Isles of Shetland, a landscape not too far from where I live here in Donegal, wild open, no makeup on, raw, exposed. This, there's so many people who have had experience of this sort of issues in their life, but this is about hope and uplifting and, confronting things, and that we can do things. The camera loves Saoirse Ronan anyway. You believe she's Scottish. You always believe, I was watching the two clips back to back, her as a young Scottish woman in the current times in Shetland, and I watched straight afterwards her as a London mother in the 1940s, and you go, yeah, I believe both of those. The accent is immaculate. The look is immaculate. Straight away on the screen, you just go, she's wonderful. So this looks fascinating. I can't wait to see it. I'm going to see it tomorrow myself. It opens tomorrow, and highly tipped for Oscar awards. And, it's a serious subject, but I wouldn't let that put off you, because it is about hope and redemption. And we all need a bit of that in these days.
She's just good at it.
Yeah.
She's really good. Right. Now, the Donegal Bay Festival, Film Festival continues. You had a good night last night?
We had a great night last night, sold out, over 200 seats. Well, you sell out, it is free, but it's great to have the support. And it is the thing. And I talked about this last week when I was mentioning it. People in the Northwest, we are crying out. We love our arts. We love our theatre. There's so many brilliant plays and and musicals coming up at Christmas all around Sligo, Donegal, and Leitrim. There's so much art, so much talent here. It's great to give it a showcase, and you could see that people really appreciate it. And some stories are meant to be 10 minutes. Now, how often do you and I, Shamey, say, "Oh, that was a good movie, but it was 20 minutes too long"? This is great. It's great to see a different form. So I sat through 6 movies last night in an hour, right? You know, some movies hadn't even got started when I'd be watching them and going, "Shamey, there was a Transformer movie for 3 hours." You know, this was brilliant to see all these stories and the depth of talent, Shamey, and all for free. And we had a little Q&A afterwards. Now, there's 7 movies tonight. If somebody's watching this in the video, it'll probably be too late. But if they're here on the radio, there are tickets available on the door. Just come down, get a seat, watch some local talent, support our own, and it's absolutely brilliant. And I guarantee you'll get something out of it. There's 7 movies, all about 7-8 minutes long. You mightn't love them all, but you'll definitely love most of them. It's absolutely brilliant, and it lifts the heart to see how much talent there is here in the Northwest.
Okay, that's the Donegal Bay Film Festival. Runs again tonight. Free tickets at the door. Book that. Now, we've something for the kids. Buffalo Kids, a Spanish cartoon, is it?
Well, it's made by Spanish people, but it's about 2 Irish kids, actually. And and it's about, it's set up in the late 1900s or late 1800s, and 2 Irish kids who head off to America to meet their uncle. They're orphaned and they're head off and then suddenly the uncle has disappeared and they have to travel across America. This looks very cute. Now, technically it opens next week, but there's
Right.
weekend previews this weekend. And the Irish actress Alicia Ware does the voice of the little girl. We'll know her from, she was in Matilda, and she was also in Abigail, the vampire movie that I love. Nobody went to see it, but I loved it. And she's very good, talking about Irish talent, the next level of it. And it looks really cute and sweet. And it's animated by Spanish language, but it's one of those European co-productions. And
Yes.
the story is about 2 Irish orphans. I would say sort of for tens and unders, it's a lovely story. But for even younger, we have the Disney Club Junior. And this is something we've talked about before. Every now and then they bring out movies that are perfect starter movies. It could be called My First Movie. This is a series of short movies. Well, back to the Donegal Bay Film Festival, but it's Mickey Mouse, it's Spider-Man, it's Bluey, the most popular thing in the world, and a load of short movies. It's about an hour long and it's priced accordingly. It's nice and cheap, and it's for little ones who would love to go to the movies and love to see stuff on the big screen, but an hour and a half is a wee bit long. Exactly this. They
Perfect.
do some of these movies, and it's Disney. They know what they're doing. And that's out this weekend as well. And it's a lovely one, sort of for I'd say the sort of 6s and unders. That's a lovely too. So we've a nice choice there.
Nice mix. Missed it Monday quickly. Deadpool.
Yeah,
Wolverine.
one of the biggest movies in the world. We knew it would be big. Didn't know how it would be so big. It did so well for everyone. Sometimes I think, well, everyone must have seen it, but we've already sold so many tickets. I suppose it's only a $5. You're going to sell so many tickets. But Deadpool and Wolverine, it's scabrous, it's funny, it's as rude as anything. I nearly swore there. It's as rude as I've seen a movie, but it is very, very funny, and we really enjoyed it. And it's back on Monday for a $5.
Okay, that's Collie on movies this week. Enjoy the movies. I won't be here next week, but you'll be here with Paddy Cunningham next Thursday, and you can share the movies together.
Thank you very much.
Okay, all right. That's Collie on movies.